In some overnight news, I-40 eastbound at the Coors exit is back open this morning after a deadly crash.
This happened about 9 o'clock last night when police say a man was ran over by his own car. Investigators say it all started with that truck there that was going east. It had a number of things in its bed and a mountain bike fell out. Well, a car ran over the bike. Then police say the driver got out, tried to get the bike out from under the car when another car slammed into it, running over the driver and killing him. Police have not said who the man was who died or if drugs or alcohol were involved in the crash or if they're going to file any charges in it. And here's a follow-up now to breaking news that we told you about yesterday morning. Police are now looking for a white SUV they say hit this motorcycle about 6 in the morning at Paseo del Norte at I-25. Officers say the SUV ran a red light, hit James Tauscher on his bike, then took off. Tauscher went to the hospital. He should be okay. Well, the man who police say was the target of an attack inside of a Catholic church in Albuquerque last weekend is still in the hospital this morning.
Yeah, police say 24-year-old Lawrence Kapner rushed the choir director at the end of Mass on Sunday.
He told me he wanted me to die.
That is Adam Alvarez, the choir director. He is recovering in the hospital after a 4-hour surgery from wounds to his shoulder, arm, and wrist. Witnesses say Kapner stabbed Alvarez and then 2 others who tried to subdue him. A criminal complaint says the suspect told detectives he believed Alvarez was a Mason and that he was involved in some sort of widespread conspiracy.
And I think it's very curious that he called me something. I have no idea where he came up with that. It's just unusual.
As for the other victims, police say Kapner apologized for hurting them, saying that he just decided to stab them because he wasn't sure if they were Masons also. The choir director says he doesn't even know Kapner or why he gave the story he did. And we did some digging on the suspect's background and found that prior to Sunday's incident, Kapner only had 3 traffic citations on his record. We also learned that he graduated from Cibola High School in 2007 and went to C&M off and on between 2008 and 2011. A former classmate tells us he was usually quiet and that he liked heavy metal and that he had a sense of humor. Kapner was fired also from his job at the dollar store 3 weeks ago after having a confrontation with a supervisor. And you know, the attack could have been a lot worse had it not been for some of the brave people who stepped in during Sunday's Mass.
And it turns out that 5 of them dedicate their lives to helping saving others every single day.
I think it's just part of your, like I said, training and your instincts on trying to do the right thing, regardless of, you know, you don't think of yourself at the time. You just kind of, you know, say it, you know, we got to take care of what's going on.
Well, that's Sergeant Gilbert Flores. He's been a corrections officer at the state pen for more than a decade. He and Albuquerque Fire Lieutenant Greg Aragon there, an FBI agent, and police officers from Rio Rancho and Albuquerque all helped get Kapner under control on Sunday.
I saw the knife. I grabbed his arm that he had the knife because he had it up against the wall. Some people were trying to pry it out. I was like, we have to secure that knife and then we have to get him to the ground. It happened so fast, we finally got him to the ground. There's an AFD guy on my right side helping me, a corrections guy. I'm like, we got to get him cuffed.
Lieutenant Aragon here ended up getting stabbed in the head. He helped get Kapner out of the church, then went back in to help others and didn't even realize how hurt he had been. Well, make sure you stay with News 13 and KRQE.com for the latest on the stabbings at St. Jude Thaddeus Catholic Church. We'll always have the latest for you. And some other news this morning, the young boy who was abducted from his home in Roswell early yesterday and triggered an Amber Alert that we told you about as breaking news is safe this morning, and now his mother is facing a number of charges. Police say Miranda Aguilar kidnapped Elijah Rezick at gunpoint about midnight yesterday. Then FBI agents say they traced her cell phone to Lubbock, Texas. That's where investigators found Elijah and Aguilar about 10 o'clock yesterday morning. He was not hurt, thankfully. They did arrest Aguilar and 2 adults who were with her.
The woman who calls herself an angel of God and who police say led them on a dangerous chase is set to be in court today. Monique Anderson is facing a number of aggravated assault on a police officer and child abuse charges. Police say during a chase near Carlisle and Montgomery on Sunday, Anderson tried to slam into their patrol cars. Cops had to put down spike strips to blow out her tires, and even then she kept on going. Police say Anderson told them that she was an angel of God when she finally reached a parking lot off of Candelaria and Pan America. On top of all of this, they say that Anderson had a 3-year-old in the car with her, the child, and everyone else was okay. Speaking of being okay, Torrance County's sheriff is fortunately recovering and walking again after being hit by a vehicle. Meanwhile, the man accused of running over him could end up facing attempted murder charges.
Yeah, Sheriff Heath White was investigating a case about some stolen stuff near Edgewood on Friday when he says Jeremiah Callahan was driving nearby. Then Sheriff White says Callahan refused to stop, drove directly at the sheriff, clipped him, and ran over his leg there. Did a lot of bruising.
I'm just now walking normal, or what I feel normal, but I'm pretty bruised up and banged up, but we're good.
Right, the sheriff, as you can see, was okay. He was able to help track down Callahan, saying he was hiding under some trees nearby. Well, tonight is your chance to learn about climate change with short films, poetry, and other presentations. Climate Connections goes from 6:30 to 8:30 tonight at the South Broadway Cultural Center. It's on Broadway, just south of Cole. Poet laureate Hakeem Bellamy will be there. He's a great performer, along with scientists from Los Alamos National Lab and other government agencies. It is free, so go enjoy.
Today is also your chance to give your feedback on a list of potential transit routes for UNM, CNM, and Sunport Transit. If you want to give officials an idea of what the best routes will be, there is a public meeting today from 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be held at the Loma Linda Community Center off of Yale Boulevard in southeast Albuquerque. Sometimes it's better to hear from those who actually use the buses and public transportation on how to improve things.
Exactly. Get a much different perspective on it.
Yeah.